Hi, how are you? It's Travis here, and welcome back to our adventures with the Hardcore Warrior.
Hi.
Last episode, we did some questing in Tanaris, we slayed some harpies, and today may be our last day here. We need to get this last Trent. Maybe we'll go up here and take a little peek, see if we can find one. I may head down to the Frey Feather Highlands, and we will look for a hippogriff egg. Moni told me about these eggs here, and supposedly we can turn it in for a quest in Tanaris, so shout out to Moni. Thank you for telling me about that. So we'll head down there. We'll try to get one of those eggs. And probably try to farm some tender wolf meat. We have 14 here. If you want to farm more, because we only have 12. And this is a good time to farm it. So let's see if we can find a Trent here. I know these wolves drop the meat too, but they're gray. We're kind of looking for wolves that not only drop the meat, but also give us a little bit of XP. And I hope you guys are doing well today. I'm doing pretty good. I've noticed that speed running is getting a little popular in the WoW hardcore leveling community. I think that's pretty cool. You know, we do need to add something new, because everything has pretty much been done so far for hardcore WoW. And it's solo self-found speedrunning. So there's a website for speedrunning for multiple games. It's called speedrun.com. You can check out speedrun.com/hardcore or WoW hardcore. So it'd be like this, speedrun.com/WoW hardcore. And they now have like a list there for speedrunning, which is kind of cool. Right now, it seems like Tommy Salami holds the #1 spot from 1 to 60 on a gnome mage. Not surprised about that. 2 days, 10 hours, 36 minutes, and 7 seconds. Only 2 days to level 60 and playing solo self-found. That is crazy. Like, we're pretty much 4 times that on this warrior. I learned how to do the Dunmorrow mountain skip to the wetlands, Manassil Harbor, from Tommy Salami. He actually watched a video of his, and he taught me how to do that. So shout out to him. I think that's probably the hardest thing to do. It was what he said right there, is getting to level 60 in that amount of time, while also being solo self-found hardcore. That's kind of wild. And you have to videotape it, so it's probably out there, you know, to watch, I would assume. I think recording is a prerequisite to doing these. And there's a list of a bunch of different classes. Like there's a hunter one. A hunter guy named K Super. 3 days, 2 hours, 6 minutes, and 51 seconds on a night elf hunter. And the cool thing is, as this gets more people start doing this, there will be people will probably say, like, who's the fastest mage, who's the fastest hunter, who's the fastest rogue. It's a troll rogue who did it in 3 days, 2 hours, 22 minutes, and 8 seconds, named Kami Seo. And then there was an orc warlock who did it in 3 days, 9 hours, 55 minutes, and 38 seconds. His name is Kayun Ran. Pretty cool. I don't know, maybe we'll do that someday, just to spice it up a bit. But for now, we're just trying to get a self-found warrior to 60. Yeah, that goes first. There actually isn't a warrior up there yet. So I assume this list is going to grow quite a bit. And I can't really apply for it. There's like an add-on you have to use. And when you record, when you start your recording, you have to be on the character screen. So they know exactly when you're playing. Right? They have to see pretty much every second, even millisecond of your playthrough. And they also have other leveling brackets. There's like the 1 to 10 bracket, the 1 to 20 bracket as well. I assume they'll eventually have, you know, group brackets. You know, like mage, fastest, warrior, paladin, fast, like the fastest duo, I guess you could say. But the fastest 1 to 10 is a Tauren Shaman, Tommy Salami again. What a surprise. 1 hour, 3 minutes, 52 seconds. This was 6 months ago. So it seems like 6 months ago or a year ago this really started taking off. And the cool thing about this is, like, people are going to take risks. Like, somebody will pull, like, 3 of these mobs. Just to, you know, speed it up. And it's risky to do that, right? You could die. You really have to know what you can handle and the limits of your character to push the time. Well, let's watch out here. We got a lot of Yetis. Don't want to run into a bunch. I'm not trying to speedrun here, so... We're just going to slay mobs one at a time. But clearly we could handle two at a time. You know, and that's something that you would probably attempt to do. Or even 3 at a time. If you're, you know, trying to break a record or, you know, or go as fast as you can. Also, human paladin. The 1 to 10 bracket there's a lot, because it's only like, it takes like an hour or 2 hours to level from 1 to 10. Probably took me a lot longer than that. But, human paladin's pretty damn quick. There's a lot of human paladins. D. Swingo leveled a human paladin in 1 hour, 4 minutes, and 18 seconds. 1 hour from 1 to 10. That's pretty wild. But yeah, that kind of gives me a little bit of excitement for hardcore. I'm happy that they're getting, you know, speedrunning going. Because it is something I do enjoy watching. I do enjoy watching raids do, you know, speedruns and stuff like that. I would say one of my favorite times in playing Classic WoW was like just trying to beat our guild's previous time in a raid. In TBC, you know, Vanilla, and even Wrath of the Lich King. Those were the best times. It's just a lot of fun. Because you do stuff that you normally wouldn't, right? Just to try to cut a little bit of time. And you're kind of dialed in the whole time. There's no, like... It's like go, go, go. Which is a lot of fun. It's almost... It's like being in a race. Now, if doing that in this version of the game, 1 to 60, like, I don't know, man. Eventually you're going to get burnt out. So you got to take breaks, right? So we're looking for hippogriff eggs, guys. They're supposedly in, like, nests around here. Let's see if we can find one. Hopefully I didn't pass Trent while I was ranting there. So hopefully we can find one of these. I'll try to see. It's in this area here where we are. Maybe we have to go a little higher up. See if we can even go up here. Never been up here, ever. What the heck is up here? There it is, one of the eggs. That's probably why I've never been up here. Shout out to Money for telling me about this. Thank you. Now I have a hippogriff egg. It's for a quest in Tanaris. I don't know if we have it. Maybe it's super sticky or some... It's a quest here. Forget what it's for. Let me check. Super Eggomatic. Yeah, there it is right there. Level 60. So I guess we'll hold on to it. So we got that done. Now we just have to find a Trent and then we'll go farm some meat. And the stop killing games. You know, movement is still going. Shout out to everybody in EU. They got it over 1 million signatures. So it looks like it might garner a little bit of attention from the EU Parliament. We'll see. 1 million signatures is quite a bit. And I'm for it. I think there should be an end-of-life plan for games. I don't expect them to, you know, have to hand over their source code, but if you make a game and somebody, you know, buys it, you can't just be like, all right, game's dead. See ya. You know, the person should get at least a year or two more, right, of enjoying the game after, you know, the date of saying, like, we're kind of done with it. Should be a plan. I kind of agree with that. Alright, so we'll head up here and see if we can find Trent. And the kickback against it, I think it just makes games harder to make now, right? If you need an end-of-life plan, you can't just make a game and release it. I think that's probably the pushback. You need to have the end of... You're going to need to have an end-of-life plan if you plan on, you know, making a game and selling it. But I think what people will do to avoid that, I wonder if they could just make a game... I don't know how they would do it, to be honest. And just not sell it, just be like, it's a free game. I don't know. There's going to be a way around it. Little loopholes. We'll see what happens. Just Iron Mall in front of us. But I think if somebody crowdfunds a game, say on like Patreon, it's still considered, you know, the person buying the game maybe. I'm not too sure about that. So that happens quite a bit. Games get crowdfunded and they never come out. And I finished the Wandering Isle on the Monk. It was a lot of fun. The Wandering Isle is a pretty good starting zone, I must say. I enjoyed it. Very lighthearted, colorful experience. Like, if you're a new player playing the game and that was your first experience of WoW, I think people would probably enjoy it. But it is a shame that, you know, the popularity of the game just kept going down during that time. It just continued to drop. And then there was a spike at the beginning of Warlords of Draenor because everyone was, like, excited for that story. Because it was kind of cool going back to Draenor again. It's got a TBC feel to it. Which is, you know, very nostalgic and considered to be one of the most popular expansions. But once people got sick of sitting in their garrison all day by themselves, it spiked down pretty damn hard and went even lower than Mista Pandaria. And then during WoD, they stopped showing subscription numbers just because of how much negative publicity they were getting. So now it's just, now the way people figure out how many people are playing the game is through Warcraft logs, and they see how many people are raiding. Because you can't find out the subscription numbers anymore. And that version of Classic has gone down quite a bit. It's pretty much following the same trend as it did back in, you know, 2013. But that's just Raiders. I think it'll probably go up a bit. But everybody loves Wrath and TBC. That's in vanilla. Like, that just seems to be the main. That just seems to be what everybody likes in WoW, or the classic version of it, anyways. Especially Wrath of the Lich King. I think Wrath of the Lich King is probably the most popular version of World of Warcraft. They had over 600,000 people raiding during Ulduar. And that's just raiding. Back when Wrath of the Lich King was out in like 2022, 2023. And in China, there was like millions of people raiding when Ulduar was out for Wrath of the Lich King. Like, everybody loves that raid. I wonder what the Chinese numbers are like. Alright, so we got that quest done. We got the Hippogriff Egg, now it's just hunting down doggos. Clearly have a lot of junk on us too. There's a distress beacon, we're not going to do that. I don't do the escort quests. Not a fan. That's another thing about speedrunning. A lot of quests probably end up being... Some are worth doing, some are not worth doing, right? It's a big part of speedrunning. Also, like, the way you travel is probably a big part of speedrunning in this game, because traveling is what takes up most of your time. I'd be interested to see all the little tricks people come up with to increase their speed while leveling in this game. finally got some tender wolf meat here. It's right, almost 20, 17. I'll tell you guys about the 20 bracket. What's the fastest 1 to 20? Human Paladin, fastest 1 to 20. There's not a lot of people who participate, though. So I assume these records will be broken. This was 3 months ago. Human Paladin, 6 hours, 35 minutes, and 50 seconds. D-Swingo. Paladins are pretty fast. I didn't know that. Yes, because they can heal themselves. The thing is, they don't really have a... Their mobility isn't good, but from 1 to 20, not really anyone's mobility is that great, right? You know, you have to wait to get into the 20s for you to get aspect of the cheetah, I believe it's called, for hunter, and then you also need to get into the 20s to get cat form as a druid, and that's when those classes really start speeding up. Yeah, maybe Druid just does insane damage. Maybe their AoE is really strong. From 1 to 20, I'm not too sure. I would probably check out a Paladin. That's for one of my next playthroughs. I do want a Paladin for TBC. I think it would be an awesome black character to have. Non-hardcore, though. Paladins really take off in TBC, and then in Wrath of the Lich King, they're amazing as well. And speaking on Wrath of the Lich King again, the private server, I believe it's called Warmain. The most popular private server is a Wrath of the Lich King server. So I was kind of shocked they didn't have like a, you know, a permanent Wrath of the Lich King server. Sort of like they do with the vanilla versions. I honestly think they should have a permanent TBC and a permanent Wrath of the Lich King server for Classic WoW. They'll probably eventually have that. Because that was... Everyone assumed that's how they were going to do it. Because at the end of Vanilla, they asked everybody, like, you want to pay $5 to $10, and you can transfer your characters over to a permanent Vanilla server, which is the Classic Era servers. And I did that with my Warrior, because I put in... I don't even want to know how long I played that character, but I played him a lot. And he had pretty much full Nax gear, so I was like, $5 is worth it to not lose him. It's a shame that they charged, but you know, it's easy. It's an easy money grab there. And I've logged on him a couple of times just to do like a battleground or something like that. I think the Frontier Guild had a little speedrun event. Pretty sure. And then a decent amount of WoW players are switching over to RuneScape. Old school RuneScape. I've noticed. Another Trent there. Try to get 54 today. I'm just trying to hunt down there's some doggos. This guy's gonna howl. We'll probably pull him. Yeah. I never played old school RuneScape. I played MMOs like that. I just never liked the art style of RuneScape. That's why I didn't play. I honestly think RuneScape should have been 2D instead of like tried to be 3D. That's why I didn't like RuneScape. I played Tibia instead. It's a 2D MMO, pretty badass game. Came out in the 90s. Very punishing. I think RuneScape's like that as well. If you die, you lose experience. There's no level cap in Tibia. And if you're on a PvP server and you don't have this thing called blessings, you have to collect blessings around the world and pay gold for them. If you die, they can loot your corpse, take loot from you. You know, there's a chance for you to drop some pretty nice loot. You don't lose all your stuff, but if you don't have blessings, there's a good chance you're going to drop a piece of loot that could be pretty damn good. And you lose XP as well. So if a guild of people don't like you, they could kill your character all the way down to like level 8, which is where the starting zone is. So it can be a pretty toxic game, but that's how MMOs were back in those days. World of Warcraft was kind of considered to be a casual MMO, not very punishing. And it's not really. Like, the most punishing part about getting killed in WoW is you have to run back to your corpse. And that's PvP. And then if you die in PvE, the most punishing part about dying in PvE is that you have to run back to your corpse and you have to pay a little repair bill. I think that's why hardcore kind of took off in this game, because it made just made the game a little bit more punishing if you died. But this game wasn't really built for this style of play. There's a lot of mechanics in raids where if like one mistake happens, the entire raid just gets eliminated, like obliterated. Which is, it's not really good for hardcore, right? Because the bosses in Tibia, like, they're challenging. There's challenging bosses, but the mechanics aren't close to the same level of, you know, mechanics as later endgame WoW raiding. I would say, like, AQ40 and up. Blackwing Lair is pretty chill. Like, the mechanics aren't that hardcore. Same with Molten Core, but there's some tough bosses in AQ40, like Twin Emperors. That's an interesting boss fight. Same with Cthulhu. And then the bosses in Nax are pretty tough, too, as well. A lot of gear checks and cool little, like, mechanics. Watch out here. Pretty sure these guys drop meat. pull these Gourd Crodock Thunderers as well. We'll head back soon. I think it could try to get another stack of 10, but we'll see. Because when we do go back to Orgrimmar, I will be doing a little bit of engineering and cooking and stuff like that. Level 60 mage died. In Orgrimmar, slayed by a mangled cadaver. For Undercity. That was his last words. What the heck? Guy just snapped. What the heck is a mangled cadaver? What the heck is that? It's like a zombie? It's a level 55 to 56 elite NPC that we found in Stratholme. How do you bring that to Orgrimmar? Oh, there's 60 to 62 elite NPCs that can be found in the Karazhan crypts. I still don't know how the heck you bring that to Orgrimmar. He died here. Maybe he had a dot on him. 'Cause that's where you teleport to as a mage. Right? So he probably teleported, had a dot on him, and then... Not too sure what the dot is. I would assume it's a dot that killed him. I have one ability. Cadaver worms? Not too sure. I don't know what he was trying to do. Maybe he had like a disease on him and he was trying to spread a disease throughout Orgrimmar. I'm not too sure. Because there are debuffs like that, but I think you have to be in a group to spread it. Like debuffs that are on you and they can spread to other players, but pretty sure you need to be in a group to spread that. See if we can find some more wolves around here. Pretty damn close to level 54. It's a good time to go back to Orgrimmar's when we get 54 because we can level up some abilities. Demo Show 5, Hamstring 3. There's another wolf there. Mortal Strike 3, that's a huge one. Revenge 5. What the heck is this bear doing? It's just beelining it over here. I was gonna get wrecked. It's wild seeing those videos where you see like bears walk up to people. I've seen like any brown bears or like grizzly bears. That would scare the crap out of me. I seen a video of this guy just sitting on a beach or something, and this mother brown bear was just walking by. Her cubs were walking with her. The guy was just... There's nothing you can do there. You're just like hoping, you know, that, you know, she doesn't get startled by you or thinks that you're food. Right, so he just sat there. The cubs came up to him. Like, one of the cubs came up to him and just, like, looked at him. If he did, like, any sudden movement there, the mother grizzly would have just ripped his head right off. I would be kind of scared at that moment. You just know not to move, though. You just say, I don't know, this could be it, and hopefully not. But the guy was pretty damn lucky he lived. Or the bear, I guess, wasn't hungry at that time. And I've seen so many videos where people see little bear cubs like, oh, that's cute. And like, no, it's not. That means there's a big mama bear around there, dude. You better don't get close. It's actually a terrible sign if you see cubs. So we got a debuff now. We have rabies. Health regeneration rate reduced by 50%. Strength reduced by 14. And agi reduced by 14. That's a brutal debuff. It's disease. Terrible disease. There we go, we leveled up. Level 54, guys. That's pretty exciting. I think we'll get another rank of improved cleave. Increases the bonus damage done by our cleave by 120%, so another 40%. We can really cleave now. Maybe we'll try it with these bears. We do have rabies, though. Probably not a good time to do it with rabies. Let's just see if we can handle one bear. Just want to do one cleave. Right? Come over here. Give us a big one. Oh, you got kind of getting messed up by this patriarch. Damage is really racking up when we had two of these bears on us. Okay, that's good. Let's get out of here now. It's like cleave. Like, you think you can pull two? Like, we tried to pull three, we'd probably die there. Is that where we'd have to use Owl's Pot? Alright, so we heard back. That's enough tender wolf meat hunting for today.
Relax. See ya later.
Were you able to capture the wandering forest walkers? Thank you, Travisine. Our music collection is almost complete. Oh, great. We need to fight cliff giants. The last task will require you to travel to the northwest to final... I don't know if we're going to do this right now. They're elites, right? We can't kill them. We need help. So...
Later.
Can't kill them. Can't kill the elites. So... That's it. That's it for now. Gone as far as we could go.
Where would you like to fly to?
It's time to fly to Ogremar. Off we go. Yeah, we survived today. That's good. We got 23 tender wolf meat, so we'll cook that up when we get to Ogremar. And we have a lot of ore on us. Probably get our engineering above 200. And we'll clear out quite a bit of our bank, so the next episode will probably be mostly in Ogremar. And we'll also level up our abilities, guys. A few abilities to level up. That was good. Got to level 54 in Fairless. That was the goal. The next place we will probably head to is Ashara and Fellwood, which are just north of Ogremar, so not too far away. A couple of entry-level quests we can get into, and we can probably go a little further. There's also an add-on that you can get, which would help in Ungoro Crater. It alerts you when high-level, like, elites are close. Some people consider it to be cheating, but everybody uses it. So I might get that if we go to Ungoro Crater. Actually, not really many people consider it to be cheating. I haven't really heard that, but I assumed it. But I do hear sometimes, like, you know, it does make it a little bit, you know, you can be less alert when you're in that zone. Because, you know, a Devil Sword can kind of sneak up to you out of nowhere, and it's really the only zone you have to use it, in my opinion. We could completely skip that zone, to be honest. We don't really even have to go there. But we are 6 levels away. Takes around 3 to 4 hours a level, so looking at 24 hours total, probably, to level 60. As we level up, it'll probably speed up a bit because we'll be able to just go to really any zone, especially once we hit 58. Can pretty much level anywhere. And my mage got through Blackwing Lair. Pretty happy about that. We got to clear Blackwing Lair before AQ40 came out, so happy that we were able to do that. Doesn't mean that we're completely caught up, but it does mean that we're catching up. We're getting close. Our gear's getting much better as well, so we're almost at that point where we can, getting close to the point where we could pretty much just raid log. And then, you know, farm some gold during our off times. Maybe just, like, have fun PvP, stuff like that. I was thinking about trying to do some carries maybe on the mage. Because I do need a little bit of gold. Pretty easy one to do is the stockades. You can just level people up in stockades, just go in there, AoE stuff down, and people give you gold for it. Would be cool to learn how to do the harder ones, like Solgarub. But that would take a little bit of effort to learn how to do. You have to pick up you have to go around, pick up a bunch of mobs in ZG, and then you have to jump up and down this bridge. You lead them over to this bridge at the start. And then you blizzard while you're off the bridge, and then you jump on the rope part of it, and then they turn around, try to run up there, and then you blizzard them there, and then just jump up and down, back and forth. It's just pretty much the same thing as Scarlet Monastery Cathedral. But the hardest part is just surviving, rounding them all up. And then also, it's pretty hard to execute the end where you have to jump up and down on the bridge while continuing to, you know, slow them with Blizzard. But you can make quite a bit of coin from doing that as well. I think that's probably the best mage farm in the game at the moment, I think, is probably Zul'Gurub. Here we are back in Orgrimmar, guys. It's been a while. Maybe we'll get lucky while we're here and catch a Rallying Cry of the Dragon Slayer or a Warchief's Blessing. That'd be nice. And here we go. Alright, we made it. Happy about that. We got some junk to sell.
Greetings.
have a lot of solid
Go
stone.
in peace.
So we will, yeah, we'll deal with this next episode, guys. Probably do, you know, the engineering, cooking, level up some abilities here. Next episode, and then we'll make our way north, and we will check out Ashara. Probably check out these 2 quests from Lahatu, a land filled with hatred and spiritual unrest. But that is going to be the end of today's episode, guys. As always, thanks for watching. Keep your heads up. Later.